That's a lovely looking. It's been very much pollarded, this tree, but it's interesting the way the leaves are sort of sprouting up on it at odd places. So I'm walking along here, knowing that the centre's going to be down here. As yet, I don't have any particular aim in mind. This is just basically, now that it's my particular fasting is basically that on the days of the fast, I'm not eating until it gets dark. Okay, the dark bit I pinched off the Muslims. Got to get some good out of them. As it's the summer, that's quite late, but then in the winter you might not fast so long, but then you probably use more energy anyway, so there's some kind of sense in it. Now, as you see, it's getting dark. I haven't had anything since I woke up. My last food was just before I went to sleep last night. But then on top of that, I would like to try these Daniel fasts. I took also an audiobook on Audible about fasting. It's called Fasting. It's by a chap called Jentison, and now I've forgotten his last name. But if you just look up fasting, and you can't miss somebody whose first name is Jentesen, Jentesen. You don't get that many of them to the pound. So that's very nice, isn't it? I love these palm trees everywhere. This is really a beautiful city. That's the first thing that struck me. Is it's one of these southern places where you get a certain vibe to them, and I do like them, I have to admit. I think even though it's maybe not as easy to get to as a city with 5 million people ought to be, now that I've been here once, I think I like it. It's worth learning a bit more Greek for. Anyway, I was going to do this as Huliganov, wasn't I? And I've forgotten all about it because in the meantime I've done all that work. Oh well, I'll probably have him come in and out of it a little bit. Have to do this one mixed. I'm so unused to doing him now that I can't stay in character easily. I can stay in character for hours once I start, but it's a question of remembering to use the character. What do you mean, calling me a character? You provide the character yourself. Well, that's as maybe, Huli. Ah, that's the poison ivy, isn't it? Interesting. Exodus is going in to the garage, entry to garage, the opposite of Exodus. Which you see quite a lot of little, what are they? Little fruits on there. It's not really the fruiting time, is it? But nevertheless, such is the climate that you get fruits all different times. Yeah, so basically the Daniel fast is the fast without anything sweet and without meat. So my version of it's got water in it and things like that, and not alcohol. So my version of the Daniel fast, which I might do for 21 days, like they say, in January, if I'm still doing this, then I'm planning to do it maybe in January, is 21 days just on vegetables, without meat, without sweets, and I would then add in without potatoes, I think, because the fact is that I should be focusing quite a lot on my glycemic index being pre-diabetic. And one of the things which did it for me was the fact that I read a Japanese paper when I was researching what my friends and subscriber Nimlot Art suggested, that I should do this. I started to research it, and that's when I decided to go for it. When I read the paper by these Japanese researchers who discovered that, in fact, fasting, far from playing merry heaven with your pancreas, as some people suggested it might, is actually increased insulin sensitivity. And if a lack of insulin sensitivity is the problem with the insulin resistant person, then anything which will increase the insulin sensitivity, it should be a step in the right direction, shouldn't it? And certainly you do notice, if you don't eat all day and you don't eat until evening, a normal, like a banana seems incredibly sweet. Well, it should be, it has a GI of 60. But you normally don't even notice that. You don't notice normally how sweet a banana is unless you've been on an empty stomach for 16 hours. Then you know it. Thraki. I suppose that's Thracia, is it? Thrace, they're calling it in English here, but I think we called it Thracia. Dacia and Thracia. Lulakaki. Peppi Lulakaki. Tosokonda. Tosomakaria. So near, so far. That's a fantastic look. I mean, I like Istanbul for the reason of climate and food and people.